I'm ready. Now, it is Thursday. It is 8 p.m., and you are listening to Stuck in Rotation as always with your host, me, Ron Riley. Thanks for listening in. Before I get started, shout out to my wife, Laura, and my kids, Cannon and Luna. I have to give them a shout out every time, or they'll be mad at me. Um, so it's the end of the month, and it is our studio session series for Stuck in Rotation. And I am proud to announce that we have Raleigh band My Sister Mara in the studio with us. Thanks for coming, guys. It's awesome. It's an honor for you guys to be here. And I want to give a shout out to Bluegill because I found out about this band from Bluegill, who are another amazing local band out of North Carolina. So would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Nah.
You don't even know who we are.
My name is Elijah. I play bass.
Katie, I play guitar and sing.
My name is Mike. I play guitar and I don't sing.
I'm Dave. I play drums and I also don't sing for very good reason.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Stand up on occasion.
So I want to go ahead and get started. So how did you guys get your start in music, and how did the band end up forming?
We went to, all of us went to NC State. We met up over there pretty much. I knew Dave from way back in the day. Back in 2018, we went to school together. Met Katie in 2021. And I don't even know how Mike got in this project.
It's kind of a
I
weird.
actually genuinely don't remember how I started.
We played a show with my old band.
Nice.
It just worked out from there.
That's awesome. So what inspires your songwriting and the process behind it?
Well, I feel like music is pretty intense, and I think it makes me feel pretty intense things, and I think it really, listening to other artists that make me feel certain ways really inspires me to create and to contribute to that feeling. Something like that.
Okay. And this goes for everybody. What made you want to become a musician?
I don't know. Well, for me personally, I've just always been an artistic person, through dance, music, art, visual art. So I'm always just going to be creating. I'm never going to stop creating. It's just, in my blood. So.
I grew up listening to a lot of different music just because my parents had very different music tastes. So being just exposed to a lot of different stuff in my youth definitely gave me an interest just in music, period. And I always wanted to learn something. So I took up percussion in 8th grade because that just seemed to be the instrument that I resonated with. And I've stuck with it ever since. So here we are.
Nice.
Went to a lot of house shows in high school.
Nice.
So my first one was in 2018, and that's what set it off for me.
Nice.
Seeing people like me on stage playing music was, it was instrumental.
Like the lure of the local scene and stuff, kind of draws you in.
Yeah, exactly. It was about the community, really. It's the community aspect that drew me into music.
100%.
Yeah.
Elijah?
I think just, listening to music in my room as a 15-year-old and discovering that alternative music exists. I think that's just set me off to really want to create.
Yeah, I like the the point about the local scene and stuff, because I feel like North Carolina, the local music scene has always been amazing ever since the early 80s, and it keeps growing and growing. You get so many awesome bands, anything from the DBs, who are also playing. Oh, by the way, My Sister Mara, Friday, Hopscotch 2024 this year. They're playing the headlining stage with Faye Webster, MJ Lenderman and his band, and Feeble Little Horse. Yeah. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, that's a great lineup. Are you guys like like when you saw that, were you like mind blowing? Like, oh my god, this is
Thought it
happening.
was a mistake.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I called Mike like as soon as it happened. I was like, "Hey, they like because we found out as when everyone else did too. They just posted
They
it
didn't
like no
tell
one
us.
told us, and they just posted it. And I was like, "Dude, are you seeing this?" And he was just like, thought he was gonna be like really excited, but he's like, "Oh my god, dude, what am I gonna do?" He's just like scared.
Yeah, because I remember seeing like the original poster and like I knew you guys were playing and I'm like, oh, it's awesome, and the lineup this is every year it's always great, and then a couple weeks later, like I'm like, wait a minute, and I'm like, oh snap, I was like, they're on the headlining stage, I was like, and they're playing my show like a week, like less than a week and a half less, like before Hopscotch, and I was like, that's super awesome too. So I get a Hopscotch band on my show. Woo-hoo!
It's crazy because like genuinely all three of those bands I am a huge fan of. Like
Same.
like way before like we had this spot with them. Like all three of them. Like not even like yeah, I've been listening to a lot of them for a while. Feeble's the big one.
Yeah, they're great. All right, so want to go ahead and start with our first song?
Yeah.
Sydney Love, Sydney Love, being alive, Sydney Love, Sydney Love. You climb in line, send me lover, send me lover. You climb in line, send me lover, send me lover.
Amazing. All right.
That one was Sydney Lawford. Not to be confused with Cindy Lauper.
All right.
Testing. Hello. Hi.
All right.
Another one?
I was gonna ask some more questions. So what sets you apart from other artists in your genre, in your opinion?
It's a wild question. I don't think we're that good. You got an answer?
I think especially around NC State and Raleigh, there's a lot more bands doing the kind of like frat rock thing, and a lot of more classic rock leaning groups and artistry that goes in that direction. So I think for us, there's sort of an untapped market for what we're doing in Raleigh. And there's plenty of other amazing bands doing similar things, but
Anybody else want to chime in?
I mean, I don't think we're so great that we separate ourselves from other alternative artists, but I think Mike's absolutely right that in terms of being around in a very white campus and in the South, a lot of people are just, it goes towards the kind of older frat rock or classic rock or bluesy stuff, and we very much are not that.
I think we just, I don't know, we just want to elicit a reaction, whether that's good or bad,
Yeah.
I don't know, just something, make people feel something that they don't usually feel, or I don't know. Yeah.
I guess in addition, all four of us have very, very different musical influences. So I feel like we're able to create a very unique sound between the four of us when we get together that maybe other bands just aren't able to do, just because our influences of individually are so varied. But we're able to put it all together and really make something unique when we do. So yeah.
I like that answer. And that's what a lot of bands, when you got different people in the band and they've got bringing different influences, it kind of just swirls together and just makes that
It really does, because myself, I'm very heavily influenced by classic rock in my drumming, which they kind of make fun of me for my boomer music taste, and I embrace it fully. So just my combining my classic rock influence in the way I play with their kind of modern indie shoegaze influence. That's just one example of our own. I don't know. I'm sure you guys could elaborate further on how your different influences have shaped y'all. But yeah, we just come from very, very different musical backgrounds. So, but makes it cooler. So,
yeah, exactly.
I think I'm really moved by orchestral arrangements and beautiful melodies and ambient soundscapes. So that sort of wavelength, and then I don't know. You guys can chime in on what you guys want to.
Trying to make indie music, to be real, indie alternative music.
I got a lot of influences. That's all I'm gonna say.
Too many. We'd be here all day.
What are some challenges that you faced as an artist?
Perfectionism. Yeah. Big one.
Pam Ryan. Money.
Probably the frustration of making music and how fulfilling it is, but also how difficult and frustrating it is. Just going in the day, trying to write a song and it just doesn't happen. It just feels like it's not in your control. It's really frustrating, but sometimes it does happen. So yeah.
When that happens, do you just stop and take a step back and just take a break, take a minute to breathe, and then go right back to it?
When it's frustrating?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like I never stop trying to write. I try to write almost every day, and it's a mixed bag. Someday it might be great, and you write something you think is cool, and the next day you just can't come up with anything. Some days you write something you think is great, and then 3 days later you absolutely hate it. So
No, it totally makes sense,
Yeah.
It's like being your own worst critic.
I guess one of the main difficulties, I guess, that we face is more of a situational thing, but just balancing our everyday life and scheduling with doing this, because like we all have day jobs, and so it can be hard at times to schedule gigs and practices and whatnot. So that's definitely another thing. Just making time for music together can be difficult, but we try, and our system generally works pretty well for it. So yeah.
Awesome. So what song will you be playing for us next?
So the next one is called Immensely.
All right. So what are some challenges that you face as an artist?
Breaking strings during sets.
Don't worry, take your
I'll have
time.
to replace his strings twice.
So everybody out there who's listening, we got a little string issue, so hold tight.
Oh, did you break one?
We're good. We're good.
Oh, you
Just needed it for that song.
Wait, for real? Yeah, true. It's the you broke the low E. That's impressive. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that guitar.
it's not a true show, so then doesn't get it wrong.
True.
We had when we did our festival, what was that, like 2 weekends ago? Before any of the bands got there, the generator blew. So luckily we had a backup generator, but it was like 15 minutes away. So we had to like go and like get that, come back, set up, all that up before the bands got there to do like sound check and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
yeah, it's supposed to. It's kind of like christening, for for like first time, festival and stuff like that,
You got to prove it's a live show Sunday.
Exactly, that's right.
I guess while I was doing that,
Yeah.
For me, personally, I feel like just when you work with so many different creative minds, there can be a lot of clashing.
Yeah.
But in there is also something beautiful to be found.
Yes.
When there's overlap, and you can make something really, like Mike was saying, you can make something really unique.
Yeah.
Because it's people coming from different backgrounds, different inspiration, but there's that sweet spot where you can really.
She's talking about us fighting.
Yes, so it's really
That's what she's talking about. She's talking about disagreeing with me.
You're disagreeing with me. I'm
Yeah.
disagreeing with you about this right now.
It literally, it does not matter what it is. We disagree. Literally every single thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The tiebreaker.
But did you get something awesome out of it,
Yeah, that's true. We made some pretty cool music, I think. I think this next record is pretty cool. The last one was okay.
Yeah, so you have new music coming out soon?
Yeah,
Elaborate. So long or what? What you talking about?
yeah. Well, that's the record we put out last year.
It's great.
That's very kind. Yeah, we have like music. We actually are dropping 2 singles on September 5th.
Oh, word.
It's kind of like a secret. We gotta haven't announced it at all. Like we're just gonna announce it the day it comes out. Honestly, I guess this is like a secret announcement before. But yeah, those are coming out. I don't particularly like them, but I don't think they're
We all
really
do
good.
this.
I think
I like them. I think they're fun.
we're making a full-length record though that's already been written and recorded. It's in the process of being mixed right now, and it'll probably come out into this year, early next year. So that'll be a much more exciting release. The singles coming out in the week are just like a fun little.
It's kind of like a little hopscotch teaser.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like the day
yeah.
before hops, or the day before we play.
Yeah.
The first day of hopscotch.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I listen to them on the 5th. I'll let y'all know how good it is. And I'm sure it's going to be amazing anyway. Even if you don't think so. I think it's going to be awesome. What's your, each of you, what's your like favorite song to play when you play live?
Like of our music?
Yeah.
Okay. I really like playing that first we did Cindy Lauper. Just it's fast, it's upbeat, just really fun for music drummer to play. Very varied, and the type of stuff I get to do a lot. So for me, that's kind of the most fun to play. But that was a very, very hard question, just because a lot of these I really, really do enjoy playing live. So that was a hard one.
I'd say I really like playing a lot of new ones, really, but I think we have one of the ones that's going to be on the new record is The Essence of Joni. That one's fun just because it's like this whole like minute and a half long ambient intro, and then it cuts into the actual song. And I also scream a little bit, so that's fun. So yeah, I like that one a lot.
I think my favorite is probably this song called Elephant, The Heart Sings Down. It's the one we're going to play next. It's funny. I don't really enjoy playing the actual song that much, but the end of it is really stupid. And that's why I like it a lot.
Okay.
You'll see what I mean, like when we play this next. It's really stupid, but in like a fun way. It's just fun.
Mike?
Got an answer?
Sydney Lawford, the first song, was also definitely on my list. We're also playing a song tonight called Ozzy Osbourne. I'm a big old fan of that song too. So.
I'm blanking on the name of the song right now, and I know it. What's the song with the saxophone in it? It's,
Silver, our first record.
that's one of my favorite System of a Down songs. It's so.
We'll play it for you tonight.
Yeah.
We'll play it last. We're on a sax
Come
player.
on, closing word.
We'll play it for you.
Alright, you guys want to break into another song?
Sure, that's it.
Sweet.
This one's called Elephant, The Heart Sinks Down. It's about a painting I saw where there was a scale, and on one end of the scale there was an elephant, and on the other end there was a heart. And the elephant was at the bottom, and the heart got lifted up. Or wait, no, it was backwards. I'm dumb. Anyway, yeah. Y'all ready?
Elijah's favorite.
Awesome. For everybody in the band, personally, like, what musicians or which bands inspire you the most?
So for me, my biggest influence in how I play the drums is John Bonham from Led Zeppelin.
Legit.
Yes, thank you. Big fan of him. I love the way he plays the drums. In my opinion, feel free to debate me on this, but in my humble opinion, he's the greatest drummer that ever lived. Followed very close second by Ginger Baker of Cream. So I would say those two are like my top two. Just especially when I was getting into playing. That was kind of when I was getting into classic rock heavily. So those are definitely two biggest influences on my style. But I'm also very inspired by Matt Cameron from Soundgarden, Stuart Copeland from The Police, Dave Grohl from the Nirvana, and especially some of the early Foo Fighters records that he played. So those are probably my top 5 drumming influences. But I mean, there's many more to name as far as just like from the music I listen to. So I'd say like 70s and the 90s. Those are the drummers that I look up to the most. You can kind of hear a lot of them in my playing, but definitely for me, John Bonham of Led Zeppelin is my biggest influence.
How do you feel about Neil Peart?
He's really cool. I love Rush a lot. My dad introduced me to Rush because he got into that in college. So I love his drumming a lot. I guess kind of my thing with him is like he requires a huge drum kit to do what he does. And he has a very unique style that fits the Rush sound very well.
Yes.
So in my opinion, what I really admire about John Bonham is just what he was able to do with a very simple drum set. That's really what I admire about him. Is just I feel like he just really suits the music amazingly, and I just admire his feel, the power that he was able to play with, his sound. So those are just all like his. So I just feel like he just really served the music the best out of all the drummers I've ever heard personally, in my opinion. Like I said, feel free to debate me on that, but
No, it's legit.
But he is definitely the drum sound I have in my head that I strive to emulate the most.
Nice.
I think I'm a huge fan of Jeff Buckley. I love Grace.
Yes.
Legacy Edition, though. It has to be Legacy Edition. Because if you don't have Legacy Edition, you're missing a lot of good shit. Like that his cover of Alligator Wine. Pristine. And then also just like I mentioned earlier, I really love like orchestral arrangements and soundtracks and so forth. So like Joe Hisaishi, just, the composer for a lot of Studio Ghibli films.
Okay.
Just absolutely beautiful, just gorgeous arrangements. I'm going to see Hans Zimmer in a couple weeks. So I'm so excited.
Oh, nice.
And then Elijah and I bonded over the Smiths, so that's
Sweet.
kind of where our overlap happened. So, you guys want to?
Yeah, I don't know. My answer to this depends on what day you catch me on. I don't know, off the top of my head, the first name that came to mind was Elliott Smith.
Yes.
One of the greatest songwriters of all time. Really love Belle of Sebastian, another great batch of songs. Built to Spill, I think, also wrote some amazing songs. I'm also really influenced. Honestly, right now I'm really influenced by like 3 records that came out all last year. The Feeble Little Horse record and the Bar Italia record and the Water From Your Eyes album all came out last year, like within a 6-month span. I'm just really excited with like kind of what these people are doing with like new alternative, indie, shoegaze adjacent, electronic sensibilities. It's really cool.
It was really Johnny Marr of the Smiths that got me playing guitar, in addition to the house show scene in Charlotte. That influence doesn't come through as strong when I play in this band, but he's always there.
He's always lurking.
Johnny's always with me, dude.
Wasn't-
Straight up.
Definitely pretty inspired by a lot of the stuff coming out of Philly right now. Tagbo, Hokey, Feeble Little Horse, if you count
Some
them.
organ shut in April. Fucking great.
Yeah. Greg Mendez. That's the name. Yeah.
The King.
Did you see where where Morrissey was talking about the Smiths that got offered like a bunch of money to like reunite, and I don't blame Johnny Marr. He was like, nah, it's not happening.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, same
If
thing.
I had to work with Morrissey, I'd turn it down.
Yeah, same, right? Like I've got my youngest, my daughter Luna, she's 5, and she's my music child because my 7-year-old could care less. He's cares about video games. But like her, like she loves like her three favorite artists right now are Taylor Swift, Death Cab for Cutie, and I got a story behind it, and the Smiths. The reason,
That's awesome.
dude, yeah,
The range.
yeah, dude. The reason why she loves the Death Cab though is because when they played in Raleigh, they did a 20th anniversary for Death Cab and Postal Service. So our babysitter forgot and went to the beach. So like $90 later, I've got my 5 and 7-year-old in tow, and like my 5-year-old is sitting there watching. He's like, "Oh, it's cool." And like my 7-year-old, my 5-year-old Luna is like out there. She's got her own little like fan club, you know, cheering on, like fans going,
That's
she's like
awesome.
dancing, like going crazy. So she's always like, I love Death Cab. I'm like, okay. She's like, play me the Closer song, which is transatlanticism. She's like, play me the Closer song. I'm like, all right. So, and I've got a nice little collection at the house, so I'll let her like go in and pick out what she wants to listen to and stuff like that. So I'm getting her started on the right track though.
Sounds like it.
What's your favorite moment as a band and as musicians so far in your career as my sister Laura?
Probably, honestly, just playing like in some random dude's house on like a Saturday night with like a bunch of like sweaty 20-something-year-olds. Like, there's just something special about that I love.
Making that sweet.
There's just something about playing really loud music in some dude's living room.
Yeah, or a random basement record store in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I really loved playing hopscotch last year. Because that was like, it was like our biggest show at that time that we had ever played. And it was just this crowd of like people, this packed room that actually they started turning people away because it was so cool. And like people were just filing in, you know, they weren't really there to see us, they were just at the festival.
Yeah.
But the energy that they were giving us, it was just like, it was palpable.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know, it was amazing.
It was cool for them because they got a nice little surprise.
And we expanded our reach a little bit, so people like kind of in the tapering days, they were just like, "Oh, dang, you play at hopscotch?" Just like people I'd never seen in my entire life.
That's awesome.
So that was really cool to see the
That-
community here.
yeah. I feel cool. I mean, I feel good for them because they're like, they just wander in, don't know who this band is, and then all of a sudden you got all these people that are like your fans now. You know, they're like, "Oh my god, the band's amazing!" Like that's one of my favorite things is going to go see a band or, you know, and not knowing anything about them and just end up becoming like one of my favorite bands.
I would have to agree with the hopscotch one as well. That was definitely just one of our biggest shows we've ever played so far. And again, just the reaction the crowd gave us, that they weren't even like expecting what we had. They weren't even there for us and became fans afterward. Like that was just really, really special to us.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed that. And I'd say another one as well, very close second, our most recent show at Cast Trail Back Room. That was where we got to debut a lot of these songs that we're going to be releasing. That was one of the first times we played a lot of them live. So that was a really good one too. And that was also Mike's live debut with us as well, because we've been a three-piece of just three of us for a long time. So that was a really cool one as well, I'd say.
Yeah, I know before we showed up, I was like, okay. I was like, well, I didn't, you know, I wasn't aware there was another person in the band. But I was like, hey, the more the better. The Catch Cradle show, who was that played with?
The one with Mike?
Adolescent Daydreams and Elliot Fulham.
Elliot
Yeah.
That was great. Check both
Well,
those.
that go ahead and answers another question that I had. What was your favorite show played? So that would be the hopscotch room.
Played some really cool ones at this record shop, Chapel Hill. No, Carver? Chapel Hill. Or All Day.
Yes, Carbo, yeah.
Carver?
Yeah.
It's a really neat record shop. Brings in a lot of the community in that area. It's
It sucks they're shut down.
very intimate and just
Yeah, it sucks about school kids on.
Oh, yeah.
On Franklin
I just
Street.
heard about that.
Yeah.
yesterday. School Kids is not having shows anymore.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
Well,
Raleigh don't have
I
shows.
thought it was just
Chapel Hill shut down.
I thought it was Chapel Hill, they're moving it to another location. I thought it was,
It's shutting
Really?
down.
Chapel Hill's
That's a
shutting
shame.
down.
Yeah.
Raleigh was staying open, but
Yeah.
they don't have shows anymore.
Yeah, because my buddy, he's in a hardcore band. He plays shows at the
Yeah, the hardcore scene is really, they made their little niche in the Raleigh school kids. That's
Yeah.
really
a bummer to hear.
I know it just like when they, back in the day. I don't know if you guys knew about like Tiernanog. Back local band, local beer night, like in the it was like all the local bands and stuff like played that, and it was a hot spot on Thursdays for local bands, and then they just ended up randomly shutting down, and it kind of just it actually kind of took a hit to the local music scene because like a lot of it started dying down and stuff, and bands weren't coming in like as prevalent, and then like a couple years ago, it started getting, the local scene started growing more and more and more, so all right. What's your next song?
Ozzy Osbourne.
This next song is called Ozzy Osbourne, and we're just wondering if he's like, if he's doing all right.
Yes, and we do hope Ozzy Osbourne is doing okay. For now. So for the band, what would you say your biggest weaknesses and strengths are as a band and as musicians?
Biggest strengths and weaknesses?
Yes.
My biggest strength is being an artist, and my biggest weakness is being a musician.
I like it. I like that.
Biggest weakness is agreeing with Elijah.
Yes.
Biggest strength is winning.
Oh, a little bit.
Dave doesn't have any weaknesses.
Yes, I do.
Oh,
I do.
It's all strength.
No, it's not. I would say my biggest strength, in my opinion, is just the musicality I bring to my drumming. My biggest weakness, honestly, I'd say, is just expanding my musical palette at times. They've introduced me to plenty of stuff, and I'm kind of like, yeah. So that's definitely something I've been a weakness of mine, is expanding what I listen to and learning to appreciate stuff and not just write it off immediately. So, yeah.
I don't even know. I guess the strength is I feel like I'm pretty tapped in to what's going on musically nowadays. I was at WKNC up until May. Shout out WKNC.
Oh, DJing?
State, yeah.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. That I grew up on WKNC, so
College radio, man. Yeah. I work at a record store. Shout out Nice Price.
Nice.
So I think I know what people are listening to, what people are buying, and I try to translate that as best I can into the band. Stay on top of things. Weaknesses, dude, practicing, man. I'm so bad at routinely practice. I love band practice. I put in the work there. But when I'm just at home,
just making the effort to just do it.
force myself to sit down and practice.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It sounds so dumb, but
Yeah, you're like, I'd rather just sit here and watch TV or something, just,
Yeah, I
or
mean,
do nothing. And
right. But I mean, I do the best stuff I do happens at band practice with the full band. That's where I'm in my element. So yeah, writing stuff at home is difficult. Yeah. For me, it's when I'm around people. That's
you get more inspiration.
yeah.
You work a Nice Price, so you're our competitor. Roger, easy, yeah. Nah, I'm just kidding. I should have looked at all the record shops. Full City, School Kids, Hunky Dory, Carolina Soul, what's Broken Anchor? I think it's the new one in Youngsville. Yeah, all of them. Well, that's what I was saying. I was like, that's our competitor. What drives your passion? I'm coming with the hard hitters for the end. Just FYI.
Can you elaborate on that?
Like,
Or no? Where do you want to be there?
What drives your passion as a musician? Because some people all right, they pick up a guitar, they do a cover band, and then that's it. They don't do original stuff, or they kind of make a half-ass effort, and and they don't really 7 years down the road, they're still at square one. They don't have that passion. What drives that passion to be a band, to be a musician, to keep going?
With that, I would just say, just for me personally, just a love of playing and performing. I just love playing drums. I love any opportunity to do it. And these guys have really given me a great opportunity to do so. And so just as performers, just a desire to just constantly better myself, give the audience the best show I can give them. I don't ever want to leave anything on the table. And just this desire to just not stagnate. It's one of those, I know that's what's so fun about music. It's very dynamic. There's always something different you can learn or get better at. And just that constant strive for perfection. Kind of going back to my influence, really, John Bonham. I'm striving to try to play and sound like him, and maybe one day I'll get a little close. We'll see. So yeah. So John Bonham, yeah, that's another driver for me.
I think that music is a universal language that spans
Very much.
geographical boundaries. There's really no you have the Western music and you have Michael tonal music. You have all this music that no matter what language you speak, we can all come together and just move each other
Yeah.
with each other's presence and whatever you can come up with.
I think I feel extremely driven to just make art, and my favorite art is music. I really just want to do it very seriously, and why I want to do that, I don't really know. I think it's because I'm afraid of dying, and if I can make music that lasts after I die, you kind of don't die. That's probably it, something like that.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page as Elijah. But I don't know. I can't really put it into words. Truly, there's something just innate about creation that I'm just compelled to do it.
It's natural to you.
It's just now. It
Like,
just comes, yeah.
It's in your soul.
Yeah, I have to. I
Yeah.
have to. There's no other really way to explain it.
It's like you have to or you will die.
Exactly.
Yeah. What lessons have you gained in your experience as a band and as musicians?
I think like not taking myself too seriously because like I mentioned before, perfectionism was a big thing that I struggle with. And so it's like being okay with making mistakes and actually finding beauty in those mistakes. Something can really come from that if you just roll with it.
I think it's just been really useful. Like, this is probably like the most serious band I've been in before, and it's been really helpful to like kind of figuring out how to navigate the local scene and how to like get shows with bands you like and grow and get more of a following and how to network and stuff. And so I've been figuring out how to do a lot of that stuff, and I feel like that's been nice.
I would say in my case, just adapting myself as a musician and the way I play to this project, because it's just very different than anything I've ever been involved with before personally. So it's been a very fun learning experience for me to adapt myself musically to this. So it's been the biggest lesson I've learned, and I want to apply that further and in any other musical projects I may be involved with. Just be as flexible and inventive, creative as possible, no matter the situation and who I'm playing with.
Yeah, I don't know. Just learning how to be in a band. That's the main thing. Just learning the process. Yeah. Recording. What it's like to be in a studio. That sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a basic answer, but it's
Especially when it's like new to you too,
Yeah.
You're not accustomed to that and you're thrown in the mix and you're like, okay, this is different than what I'm used to.
Yeah. I mean, this is my first serious band also, so I try to take it seriously. Just going with the flow.
Awesome. I'm gonna throw a wild card question that's not on my little note cards right here. What's your favorite local band?
Crazy question.
I'll give a shout out to a new band that's actually just getting up and start. They're called Bat People. They just made an account on Instagram, so you guys all go follow them. It's 2 basses and a drummer and a synth player.
Okay.
They're so cool, and the people are great too. It's my good friend Adriana.
You said Back People?
Bat People.
Back
yeah.
People.
Bat
Okay.
People. They're great. Kind of post-punky, but also like synth poppy.
Oh, I'm all about that.
So go check them out. They're great. They're just getting started. They have like 30 followers. So
We'll definitely
look
be
them up.
following them tonight.
I mean, yeah, I'm thinking of it. It's so funny. Like, one band comes to mind immediately, and it's literally Mike's other band. They're called Gumhead. They play like 2 shows. They're very new, but like, great man. I saw them at All Day Records in Carver a few weeks ago, and they put on the best show I've seen of any local band. The songwriting was there. It was impeccable. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of great local bands in Raleigh, though.
True.
I mean, there's so
Or just the
many.
Triangle in general.
Yeah, the Triangle, for real. I don't know why the Black Bouquet is coming to mind, because we played with them recently, and they really impressed me. They're really cool, like goth rock music.
Yes, they're good.
Dude, I'm blinking so hard right now. There's so many
I
good
mean,
ones.
the Max Gallen's great. His
Yeah.
solo project. He recorded our last LP and also this upcoming one. He's great. I mean, I love his music.
You guys know what there's so many of them.
There are a lot. That's why we're having trouble.
Not exactly Lucas and Hardy, but I do really love Bluegill. We
Oh,
played with
yeah,
them before,
Shout out.
twice actually. I just really love their music, and they put on a heck of a live show every time we've been with them. They're super nice guys. So I'd say they're probably my current person.
They were amazing here.
They're awesome. Yes, we love them dearly. Shout out to Bluegill.
There are a lot of great artists that we know. Off the top of my head, shout out Not Flailing. Shout out Charlie Passo. That's a big one. Yeah, Bluegill's great.
Oh, yo, Verity Den. Verity Den.
Very Den's a big one.
Like, we're not even homies with them, but I want to be. They're really good. They're really good. They actually might be my favorite Broadway band right now. Their music's impeccable.
Okay.
Bleary Eyes from Philly. Bleary Eyes really good. They're from Philly though. I love Bleary Eyes.
All right.
We also got some friends in this jazz fusion band called the Sugar Snap Peas. They're impeccable as well.
Okay.
All like have amazing musicianship.
Sugar's happy.
If you know Cassiopeia at all, they kind of draw on both of them.
Okay. All right. You want to introduce the next song?
Yeah, it's our last song.
Okay.
It's Silver. This is the only song where everything we played tonight was new. This is the only song we're playing from music we've actually released. This came out last year at about this time. It's the first song Katie and I ever wrote together. One of the few that we've actually written together. But yeah,
We never agree.
yeah. We also haven't played it in a really long
This is when
time.
we still liked each other. This is
My-
when we wrote it.
Yeah. So Mike doesn't know how to play it. He's probably not going to play it, but I think he should just guess. I haven't played this song in months, but we're gonna rip it. It's called Sober. It's a little more chill. All right.
any advice for upcoming musicians? What would you tell them? Serious musicians, upcoming musicians who want to be part of the scene, want to, get big fan base, want to be, something,
Just send it. Go out there. But as soon as you just start performing and people listen to you, that's how you build your network, your fans. Just go. Just do it. Don't be scared. And no show is perfect, but it really will hone you as a performer, as a musician. Just do it. Don't be scared. Send it.
Just play music you love.
Yeah, I think Dave's very right about actually doing it. You gotta like build up the courage to just go do it. Focus on writing, focus on making good songs, but also if your songs suck, just go out and play them anyway.
Totally.
It's better to play crappy songs than no songs at all. But go out. Also, go to shows that you're not on the bill for. Go out and network and talk to people. Go find bands you like. Engage with your community. You're not going to get more out of the community than you put into it.
I agree 100% with that.
Yeah. Got to engage with your community or you'll go nowhere.
Just stay true to yourself. All I gotta say.
Sweet. Well, I want to thank Blue Hill. Not Blue Hill. God, I didn't want to thank Blue Hill for coming out a couple months ago. I want to thank my
Thank them
sister.
too.
Yeah. Well, actually, I want to thank them for introducing you guys to me because I'd heard about you, but there's so many bands. It's hard to check out all the bands, but they were like, "Hey, this band's amazing. Check them out if you want to get some awesome bands on your show." And I was like, "Okay, let's do this." And so I just want to thank my sister Mark for coming on the show, coming up here to Oxford and performing for us. You're amazing. You're one of my favorite bands now, and it means so much to me that you got come on Stuck in Rotation. And I wish you the best success. Let's stay in touch. But I wish you the best success, especially at Hopscotch coming up. All the good vibes. I'm sure you're going to blow it out the water. You're going to have hundreds of new fans from that. And that's all I want to say about that.
Thank you for having us. It's truly been an honor and a privilege. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bring red rum.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been Stuck in Rotation. Tune in every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. We'll see you next Thursday.